The steamy heat of July is upon us, and while families should be extra careful in the warm temperatures, it's still a great idea to help encourage your kids to engage in some workouts this summer. So Dr. Patrick Mularoni with Johns Hopkins Old Children's Hospital is with us today to help us get some guidance. But first, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Look, we got off of our 4th of July weekend, and I am so fired up about the U.S. soccer team playing tonight. So that for those of you that don't remember, the U.S. is playing tonight at 8 o'clock. So hopefully we'll move forward in the World Cup.
Yes, I know what you'll be doing tonight then.
Absolutely.
And so many of us cheering on the team. And speaking of getting kids excited, that's one way to get kids excited about sports and about working out is to have that team you support. What are some other ways to really get your kids looking forward to a workout?
Well, a lot of kids are actually coming to us. It's halfway through the summer. They've done all the boring things that they do, and they start thinking about fall sports or any sports, and they want to start getting ready for that. And I think with the youngest children, play is a workout for them. Just letting them play, take them to the playground. But if you want to get more out of it, maybe park a couple blocks away and walk with them in that direction. The youngest of our children, before grade school or even in grade school, they want to do things with their parents. But as we get a little bit older, let's say they're in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, then we want to start to get them to do exercises, but it's body weight exercises. Teaching them to do air squats or having them do push-ups or wall sits. That's probably the best thing. And you might want to wait till they weight lift till they're in high school or at least middle school.
Okay, so you bring up weightlifting, and I've heard, maybe this is just a wives' tale, but does weightlifting stunt your growth at any point in your development?
Right, that's, I'm 51 years old, and my entire youth I was told if you start lifting weights, it'll stunt your growth, and it simply is not true. Lifting weights does not stunt your growth. It actually can help, and even before puberty, if you're lifting weights, you're not gonna have the testosterone or the estrogen turning into testosterone for the girls to build those big muscles that you're looking for, but it does create changes in the brain where you make different neural adaptations and allows the athlete to learn how to fire muscles better. So there are changes that can happen without getting bulky and big with lifting weights. Helps with balance, helps with injury prevention, but also for those older kids, you want to build some muscle if you're going to be an athlete or just to be stronger.
And it's funny you talk about this, doctor, because as we get older, what do we always hear? We're always reading about you must do weight training. Resistance training is so important as we age to maintain our muscle. Right. And so why not start when you're early and get those habits?
Well, that's when you're supposed to start, right? So a lot of the people that are getting up there in age and have bone health issues, if they would have weight trained when they were younger, it's never too late to start. So it's okay to start now, but if you start it when you're younger, it builds better bone and stronger bone. So those kids that are just doing aerobic activity at a young age are susceptible to having hip issues or bone issues later in life.
I never realized that, the connection between building stronger bones even, because I knew that helped as you got older, but when you're a child, makes perfect sense. Okay, let's talk about supplements, because I know you have then that end of the spectrum where the kids really want to take it to the next level and say, I want to train, I need to take whatever supplements that are going to enhance my workouts.
Well, and you think about what they're seeing, right? The kids are on the social media, they're seeing things pop up. If they're looking for weight training, advertisements are going to come up for supplements. And the truth of the matter is you do not need supplements. I don't know that there's great data that says that any of them really work all that well. So when kids are coming to me, one of the first things they're coming to me with is they want to drink protein powders, because they want to gain weight. And I ask them why they can't eat the protein. Why can't you chew that food? Why do you have to drink that food? So, you have to, I tell them to eat more. So have a better diet and eat more. When it comes to supplementation, that's a slippery slope for children, and I don't support it. The American Academy of Pediatrics doesn't support it. There does come a time where you can start thinking about that later in high school, but the first thing a child should be doing is regularly working out. I work out all the time. I don't take any supplements, and I'm doing just fine.
Sure. Okay, it's funny. We were just at the airport the other day, and you see this wall of all different kinds of drinks. They all have, electrolytes, this kind of additive to presumably help in training or just hydration in general. But again, I always tell my kids, water's the best bet. Drink your water. That's what you need.
You're absolutely right. And most, if we think about pre-workouts, really what that is a bunch of caffeine. It's something to get you stimulated to work out. A lot of the post-workouts that are protein drinks or things like that, they're based upon cow milk protein. So if you drank milk or if you just ate protein, you're doing the same thing. So I really wanted to stress that if you're working out and you're a kid, or if you're a kid or even an adult, one of the best things to do is to have a healthy diet. And you can usually get what you need out of an American diet.
Sure. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't start doing the formal like weightlifting or weight training until I was probably like getting close to college age.
Yeah.
But when I was in middle school, this is gonna date me, I did these workouts called The Firm, and it was Janet Jones Gretzky, and she had these handheld weights, and I don't know why I just got addicted to that when I was like in middle school.
Yeah.
And so to this day, I still do like the little handheld weights, squats and lunges. It's about building the habits.
Right,
you know?
it's not on VHS or beta anymore. You've got it on your phone. But anything that you can do, and if even if a child sees something on TikTok or on any of the socials that teaches them to do the exercises, that's where all this starts. And what we want to do is have adults that have a healthy lifestyle. So even adults that are watching this, get out there and get moving. If you can do a little bit every day, that's what helps you in the long run.
Creates a habit. Thank you so much, Dr. Mularoni. Always love catching up with you.
Thank you, and go USA.
Yes.